handout is called San Vicente. This is just south of that. If you looked from that fortress south, you would see this scene here. But this is about Tempranillo, and we haven't really talked about this grape yet, but Tempranillo is the king grape of Spain. It is referred to kind of as Spain's Cabernet Sauvignon because it's responsible for more top quality red wines than any other grape. Garnacha is still the most planted. Tempranillo is getting pretty close though. But on its own, in a really simple, pure form, Tempranillo kind of acts like a cross between Merlot and Pinot Noir. It's heavier than Pinot Noir, but it's brighter and more aromatic and generally more age-worthy than the Merlot style is. But they generally have soft tannins. These are tremendous vineyards of this particular wine we call Finca Allende. Allende, interestingly enough, is a very progressive winery, but they've been there since the records of the winery are in the late 1600s. So the De Gregorio family that's been here has been here quite a long time. The gentleman in charge now, Miguel Angel, is really a pioneer in this area. He supports the other varietals that were blended classically with Rioja, like Gratiano and Malvasia, but this particular wine is all about Tempranillo. This is one of the progressive movements here. It's kind of similar to what we saw in Chianti Classico or Chianti, where there are a lot of producers making 100% Sangiovese-based wines now. Here in Rioja, you're finding a lot more producers making 100% Tempranillo-based wines. So this particular wine, Allende, tremendous vintage of 2004 here. This was a great vintage across Spain, particularly for the red wines. What you're seeing there are mostly 60-year-plus Tempranillo vines. In this case, they also have a pretty spanking new cellar that they have aged the wines in with top-grade French oak. Most of this will be, 96% of this will be top French oak with a small percentage of American oak. And here you're looking generally about 14 months of aging. So you get pure concentrated Tempranillo. This is not the Rioja you would have tasted from the cooperatives. The cooperative Rioja would be the very light, diluted, oaky, washed-out style of Rioja. This is concentrated, ageable style of Rioja. Yes?
So I have difficulty picking out different types of wine because nowhere on here does it actually say Tempranillo.
Exactly. That's a European thing. It's because most of Europeans' wines were based on areas. And whether it's Burgundy or Bordeaux or wherever you're going, the wines were developed around the place instead of the varietal. So you really actually have to research to find out what varietals are there. Most Rioja is going to be based on Tempranillo, but as I mentioned in the beginning, there are a couple Riojas that are 100% Garnacha. Most, you won't know. Unless they write it on the label. You have the internet to help find out, but if they don't put it on there, you're not going to know exactly what's in there. Most of the time, though, if it is Rioja, it's going to be based on Tempranillo. The other grapes you'll generally see, they will blend Grenache in quite frequently. You'll see another grape called Matuelo, which is Carignan, and you'll see another grape called Gratiano, which is an aromatic grape. Those are normal blending grapes, and they work. It's a nice blend. This just happens to be a 100% Tempranillo version.
That's my favorite, is Tempranillo.
Yeah, in that situation, it's best to talk to, you develop your relationship with your retailer and talk to them. Talk to them and say, I'm looking at this, and have them help you because they're the ones sourcing the wines. So they can, if they, besides the wines that they have in the store, they can usually talk to you about other varieties as well. Because they taste about 100 times more wine than actually is in this store. So you're constantly tasting wine. So they'll be able to, because they do that, be able to help you a lot in that case. That is the best idea, though, anyway, because none of us have enough time. I mean, even when I was doing 40 wines a day at the restaurant, I would never be able to taste all the wines that are out there. It's impossible. So you have to, it's best to develop relationships with the people on the floor so they know what you like also, and they can help guide you to more wines for you to try.